Welcome and thank you very much for checking out my review of Justice League Dark Apokolips War, directed by Matt Peters and Christina Sotta, and starring Matt Rainn as John Constantine, Jason O'Mara as Batman, and many other familiar voices connecting with these familiar characters from the DCAU. And this movie is a sequel to 2017's Justice League Dark, a film that I quite enjoyed back when it came out. I even have a review for it on my channel, which I'll link at the end of this video, so check it out if you haven't, please. The film basically starts with an attack by the Justice League on Apokolips to stop Darkseid from taking over the universe, and then it skips to 2 years later, and we're basically playing catch-up a little bit with what happened in the first act of this film. A lot of things went wrong, and the film basically focuses on Constantine for a little while as they try to relaunch a new attack with a new strategy on Darkseid after he defeated the Justice League. And the best part about this film is John Constantine. Whenever the film focuses on him, this film really is great. John Constantine is going through a really big trauma, and you can really connect with him in that sense. You can really relate to this character because he doesn't want to risk everything again. The loss that they suffered really weighs heavy on him. And as you start to being introduced to the characters that play a big part in this film, such as Superman, Raven, Damian Wayne, and so many others, that's when the pieces of the puzzle start to come together. I also loved what they did with Batman in this film. It's a very new thing to see from Batman. Of course, it's based on obvious things from the comics, but I don't want to allude to it. I don't want to give any spoilers away. So I liked a lot of the versions of the characters that we get to see in this film after such a heavy loss. And I thought the film looked great. I enjoyed seeing the fight scenes in this film. The action is really good, especially because you see characters in such a different versions of themselves. Like, you don't see Superman as Superman for the most part in this film. So it's great to see how differently these versions of the characters that we know and love fight and strategize and go into battle. That was all really interesting. However, at the end of the day, I was kind of disappointed with this film. It's not bad, it's not awful, far from it. It's one of those films that feels like it has a more consistent universe than it actually has. Apparently, every movie after Flashpoint, or at least for the most part, apart from Gotham by Gaslight and Superman Red Son, obviously, supposedly these films are all connected in the same universe, but they don't really have that feel. They don't feel like they are connected stories throughout all these films, with Suicide Squad Hell to Pay, with Batman Bad Blood, with so many other films that have come out after the Flashpoint movie, which is still the best movie that this universe has ever produced. You don't really get that feel like you have been in so many adventures with a lot of these characters, especially because the film doesn't focus on most of the characters that have had feature films. It focuses on Constantine, and I thought that was the right choice for what they were going to do. But at points, it even takes the focus away from Constantine. And it totally should have been two movies. This film should have been one movie with a first attack on Darkseid and seeing the Justice League losing, and then 2 years later seeing the Justice League come back with what they are now, these new versions, distraught and beaten of themselves, and have a comeback to take on Darkseid, who is really good in this film for what he has to do, but he doesn't really have a lot to do. The main takeaway from Darkseid here is that he's voiced by Tony Todd, and Tony Todd is awesome. There's also a lot of elements in this film that you feel like they pulled them out of their ass at the last minute. They don't add up, they don't make any sense, they're just for the cool factor. And the cool factor works, don't get me wrong, the cool factor is there, and it had a smile on my face. There just isn't a lot to take away from this movie, unfortunately. I couldn't tell you that this film was connected before they announced it and put it all over the marketing. This film, by the way, is rated R, so there's a lot of fun in that. Yes, characters swear and that's fine, but the action, the gory violence of the action was actually really fitting for what this story is, for the gravitas of this story. Seeing Harley Quinn shooting parademons or paradooms in this movie is really, really fun. But at the end of the day, there's just a lot of character stuff that doesn't add up, and the focus is kind of all over the place at a certain point. It feels like this one movie should have been two because it can't quite distribute the focus on all its characters for an hour and a half movie. Just feels too small for such a big scale event. I'm giving Justice League Dark Apokolips War a C+. Now, what are your thoughts on Justice League Dark Apokolips War, my beautiful geekies? Let me know in the comments below. I hope you love it as much as I wanted to. Let me know all your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe and like, as it really helps me and the channel out. But of course, stay beautiful, stay geeky, and so until the next video, love each other and love the movies.